Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday! We are at the end of the week. I am so excited for this weekend. If you're excited, let me know in the chat. My name is Howard Pinsky, Senior XD Evangelist here at Adobe. Super excited to be back, kicking off day number 4, I want to say. I think it's day number 4 of the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I hope you're all doing well. If you are joining me live this morning or afternoon or maybe even evening, I think in some parts of the world it's midnight right now. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Right now I'm in lovely, hot Los Angeles. It's kind of yucky. But a good morning, good afternoon, good evening to Paco. Paco is in the house. Anna and Anne and Gary and Huxel and JC and Michael Crabtree, one of our awesome Adobe Live guests, Ariana, and everyone else. Kyle is here. He's going to be using the weekend to catch up, which is awesome. Me too. I'm going to be probably designing all weekend because that's what we do. Howard, yes. Hey, Jason. Big thanks to Paul Tranny, who just wrapped up his stream. He is a talented man. I was at his place not too long ago, and he was just, he literally said during the last stream that he just sits up at 1 o'clock in the morning and just paints on his iPad. He does. That's not a lie. He definitely does. And he paints some great stuff. Katie is from Toronto. Awesome. My hometown. I can't wait to go back someday. Nicholas and Katie. Brian from Seattle. Marianne from Argentina. Lucas from Brazil. Upstate New York. Or Jared from upstate New York. Or Gerard. Awesome. I love seeing where people are from. Half of these places I've never been, but maybe one day I will make it out there. All right, so what do we have planned for this lovely Friday? Let me hop over to my screen. Here we are, behance.net/daily creative challenge, and this is where you're going to go to find all the good info on our daily creative challenge. This week and next week, we're focusing on XD. Last week, we were on Photoshop, and I believe after this XD daily challenge, we're going back to Photoshop and then back to XD. That's how it works. And if you are sticking around for today, right after my stream, Talon is going to be up with more XD goodness. So it just never ends. We're always on. So if you haven't hit that big blue register button at the top yet, definitely hit the big blue register button at the top. That way you know that every single day you'll receive a challenge, and if you register, you'll get a notification. Every single morning at 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, just like today, you receive your notification, and you're going to join me at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time to kick things off, or design something fairly basic to kind of show you what's possible in XD, to give you a little bit of inspiration, not too much, but a little bit, on what's possible for that challenge. And then you're going to share your work on Behance using the keyword XD Daily Challenge. And you can do that so that I can find it. I can go over to Behance, search XD Daily Challenge, and see all of your amazing entries. There's got to be well over, there's several hundred since Monday or Tuesday, I guess. It's a lot. But I do want to show you a few of them. I'm going to show you that in a second. But if you're brand new to Adobe XD, grab XD. It's completely free to get started, and you can also join us on Discord. If I hop over here is our Discord server. We have about 2,000 people in Discord right now. We just launched it on Monday, so that's crazy. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do for a living, if you're a designer, if you just want to become a designer. Give some feedback, get some feedback, ask questions, have a good time. Discord is there for you. And then the challenges. So we started with a drop-down menu on Tuesday. We then went over to designing an upload file experience. Yesterday we tackled pagination, and then we had social share today. Yes, Michael, we have a Discord channel now, and there's a link on the landing page. So let me very quickly show you, before we get into designing, some of the entries that have come in over the last day or so. This is from Alex, and he put together this really cool pixel perfect. This is for the pagination challenge. Let me show you what this looks like. I thought this was super cool. I love retro style designs. 8-bit, all these cool pixel images kind of come in. And taps on one, it expands. There's some info about it, whatever that might be, $30 for a Pride Star. And then you can cycle through some of these others. And this is just so cool. It's definitely different from some of the others, but that's what makes it super creative. I love this one. So great job, Alex. Next up, we've got, this one is Vivek. And again, if I mispronounce anyone's name, I apologize. But he put together this really cool looking interactive prototype. Let me go ahead and launch this. It may be a little bit slow in my browser right now because I am streaming and there's a lot going on my computer, but let's see how this looks. Yeah, things are taking a while because my computer is not, yep, there we go. My computer is not having it right now. Whenever you're streaming, there's just so much going on. All the RAM is being used, the GPU's freaking out. Let's do this one more time. But I promise, it's good. And if you want to check this one out, go to Behance, search XD Daily Challenge. Yeah, not happening. All right. It was good, I promise. So this one's from Hashpal. He put together this pagination. This one's video. This one will definitely work. And I love the little masking kind of slide effect to kind of show the different images. And just the images themselves are super cool. Space themed and sci-fi and that sort of thing. And the little animation of the indicator at the bottom to let you know which page you're on looks really cool. So great job, Hashpal. Next up, we've got Ayumi. And I thought this one was super cute. Let's see if this one, if my computer will handle this one. Seems a little bit smaller, so it might work. You can do it. You can do it, browser. I have faith in you. All right, here we go. So we can just cycle through the various images, and we've got these super cute, super delicious looking treats. And you can go all the way back to number 2, you can go to 5, you can go to 1, and it's just super cute. I'm a sucker for cute food. I thought that was really nice. So great job, Ayumi. This one is from Katie, who's actually in the chat. And this one stood out because these cats are just, I mean, let's look at this video. Look at these cats. I can just look at these pictures of cats. I don't know if this is your cat, Katie, let me know. But this is an interesting looking cat, and reminds of Grumpy Cat a little bit, just looks very angry. Anything with cute cats or cute dogs or even very angry cats, I really like. So that was awesome. There you go, KT. Awesome, great job. And then finally, we've got Max, who put together, this one is really cool. This one, Max definitely spent a lot of time doing. This is for some sort of a, it is a cat, it is your cat, awesome. So this one is some, I think it's Ferrari or, yeah, it's Ferrari. And this just, he just went crazy with this one. Really nice, smooth animations to get between the different cars. Cars I'll probably never afford, but they're really nice. I thought that was really nicely done. Alrighty, so good job everyone. Again, make sure to share on Behance with the keyword XD Daily Challenge. Also pop it in Discord in the design feedback section. That way you can get some feedback. And if you do get some feedback, definitely go ahead and give some feedback to others, because that helps build people up through the community and makes everyone a better designer. All right, so let's hop over to Adobe XD to tackle the social share switch or social sharing challenge for today. So here's the challenge for today. Create a share on social experience complete with on-off switch. And when I saw this for the first time, it immediately reminded me of Instagram, because when you're sharing on Instagram, you have a few switches. So if you want to share to multiple platforms at once, you can turn them all on, or just one or two of them on. So we're going to create something similar to that. And if you're brand new to Adobe XD, there's a bunch of, typography, there's colors, there's icons, some elements over here like bars and cards you can just use right away. You can pop some of this stuff into your assets panel, which I always love. So if you really like this color scheme, you can just select a bunch of these, pop them into your assets panel. And that way, if you have to update some of these colors throughout your entire document, you can very easily do that. All right. So here's some inspiration here. We're gonna go in a different direction. We're gonna create some sort of like a photo feed, and we're gonna share that. But if you wanna do a blog style, you can definitely do that too. Alrighty, so we're gonna pop an artboard. I'm gonna grab my artboard tool, and let's create an iPhone 6, 7, 8 artboard. iPhone 6, 7, 8, there we go. It popped it in there. I don't want that in there. No, let's move that out. Unlock this. Unlock it. There we go. Move this artboard. What is happening? There we go. All right. It just decided to nest itself in the artboard. I'm going to pop my artboard over here just so I have access to some of those elements. And let's start designing. So on this screen, we're essentially going to have a title bar, a navigation bar, an image, a share button, maybe some text, and then we're going to have a share experience. So to save a little bit of time, because we have some of these elements already, I'm gonna hop over here, grab my title bar, hold down Shift, grab the navigation bar, and simply copy them, pop back over here, and paste them. Then I can move them into place just like that. Move the navigation bar towards the bottom, and I've already saved a ton of time. If you have elements, and by the way, if you go to the File menu and then go down to Get UI Kits, you can grab kits for Apple iOS, Google Material, Windows, and then it has a lot of these elements that you might use throughout many of your mobile or web projects. So definitely grab some stuff if you need some stuff. Grab stuff if you need stuff. There you go. All right, so the next thing we want a photo. So I'm gonna grab my rectangle tool and simply draw out a rectangle across my document, just like this. And this will house the photos. And the cool thing about XD is that you can basically use any shape as a mask. So I have my rectangle here. I'll leave it right about there. Let me hop over to Finder, and here's Finder. Here I got a bunch of images, and let's say I want, what image looks good? Does this image look good? It's a golf image, probably not. Let's go for places. Maybe, yeah, this one looks pretty good right there. Pop that in there. And yeah, Su Yang, so there is a polygon tool coming in the May update. Andrew Shorten did tease it on Twitter yesterday, and there's more teases coming. May's gonna be a big update. So I've got my image in the middle. I also want some sort of a user profile at the top. So I'm gonna just draw out a circle just like this, pop it right about there. Somewhere right about there. And again, because this is a circle, I can use this as a mask. So let me go back, grab an image. This guy looks pretty cool. He looks like he would upload some cool photos. Double click to enter the mask. Nice close-up of his face. Hey, good morning, welcome Colby, sorry, mispronounced your name. It's early-ish. And then right beside, I'm gonna type out, what is this guy's name? I'll just put Howard Pinsky for now, but let me know in the chat I can't even spell my name, what we should name this guy. But right, for now, he is Howard Pinsky. Perfect, all right, so we've got that. Now underneath, we need a few extra elements, comments, hearts, that sort of thing, but we have some of that stuff already. So inside of this repeat grid, I'm just gonna grab this element here, go back to this artboard, pop it down, and maybe enlarge it just a touch. Because responsive resize is on, I can easily resize this entire group to make it look nice and snazzy. And everything lines up really nicely. Great. All right. So now right underneath, we need some text as well. This will be kind of like the comment or the description. So I'm gonna grab my text tool and draw out, I'm gonna do this really quickly so I can get to the actual stuff, the actual good stuff. Draw out this, type in whatever, and then under the plugins menu, I do have the Lorem Ipsum plugin installed. I'm just going to paste from my last settings. And maybe I'll want to decrease the opacity a little bit. Maybe drop that down a touch. Perfect. All right, so now that we have our comment, we need a share button. We're gonna actually create a share button very quickly. Name him Bruce Wayne. Okay, we're gonna name him Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. Wow, I can't spell today. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna create a very simple share button. I'm gonna grab my ellipse tool, draw one out like this, duplicate that down, duplicate this over, and again, those smart guides are really helping me through this process. And then grab my line tool, draw a line from this shape to that shape, and then this shape to that shape. Fancy. There we go. That looks good. Now, of course, the lines are looking a little bit weird, so I'm gonna select all of them. Dumbledore, I probably should have done Dumbledore. And I'm just gonna increase the border, and we now have a share icon. I'm gonna make sure to convert this into a symbol, Command and Control K, that will pop it in my assets panel, and this will be share. That way I can very easily use it throughout my project, and I can also update it if I have to. And I pop it, it's a little bit too big. I can't wait for resizable symbols. Maybe that'll happen soonish. You never know. I'll just make this a little bit smaller. I'll dive into the symbol and do it this way. Perfect. Move this over to the right. All right, so now that we have a share icon, that was simple, we actually need the share experience. So what we're going to do, we're gonna have something kind of slide up from the bottom. We can either do this as an overlay or we can do it directly built in. So I'm going to duplicate this artboard over to the right, and with my rectangle tool, I'm going to draw out an area just like this. That's going to be our little overlay. Maybe I'll round out the corners at the top a little bit, and I don't want the corners rounded at the bottom, so what I can do is I can either adjust that in my properties inspector, or I can hold down Alt Option and just pull on the individual corners just like this to alter them individually. Perfect. All right, that looks good. Now right at the top, we're gonna type out share post, And if I want to make sure it's centered, I can either move it just like that, or I can select the share post text and the background layer, this white layer in the background, and then press the align center button right here, and it'll align that share post text with that other layer that I had selected. And then just to mimic Instagram a little bit, I'll just put share over here to the right, drop down the opacity a little bit. Maybe I'll make this one bold. And then over here, this will be a cancel button. Perfect. All right, now underneath, we actually need some other information. We need a preview of the photo. We also need some text, and we need the social media platform. So I'm gonna grab the image in the background, just copy it and paste it over here, just to give a preview of what we'll be sharing. Make it nice and small, maybe a little bit thinner. Make sure everything lines up really nicely. And then we'll grab some more text. This will be the area that you can actually type in what your description is when you're sharing this stuff on the various social platforms. And again, whoops. And again, just to make things super simple, what is going on? I keep clicking away. There we go. I'm gonna decrease this. I'm gonna decrease the weight a little bit, make it regular, decrease the size. There we go. And then again, lorem ipsum. Can't go wrong with lorem ipsum. Perfect. All right. Now next, right underneath, we're gonna add a little bit of a line, just to kind of separate the top and the bottom. Holding down Shift to constrain it, drop the opacity a little bit. And then we need some social media platforms, and we need a little bit of a switch. So we're gonna create that toggle switch now. So I'm gonna grab my rectangle tool, simply draw out a rectangle like this, and I do want the corners nice and rounded, so I'm gonna grab these guys in the inside, round them like that. Perfect. And then this one will not have a border, and it's gonna be a little bit of a gray color because this will be the off state. And then we need, yeah, Suyong Talent is coming up right after this stream. And we need a little switch to the side. That looks pretty good. So this will be the off state. I'm gonna make this a symbol. This will be switch off. Move this over to the right. Perfect. And over here, this will be, let's say, for Facebook. Making sure everything lines up really nicely. Everything snaps into place. Wonderful. I can grab both of these, drag these down. This will be maybe Twitter. And then what other social media platforms do we use? Oh, I know. Come on, there we go. MySpace. What a great social media platform. Perfect. All right, we're gonna go for MySpace. Maybe we'll also go for Tumblr. That's not how to spell it. Tumblr. Great. All right, so now that we have sort of our share experience, share overlay, I'm gonna make sure to group all this stuff. So I'm gonna group all of this here. Whoops, I hid, there we go, Command or Control G. Yeah, you know you all like MySpace. This will be share overlay. Perfect. And maybe just to give it a little bit of a little flair, I'm gonna add a background blur on the shape in the background. That's a little bit too much. So maybe I'll just increase the opacity a little bit, just so some of the image in the background can come through. Just a little bit, not too much. Perfect. Discord's another good one. All right. Now I am noticing these are a little bit light, so I can, because they're symbols, I can very easily change them. All right, so that's that. And then we want another screen to actually turn some of these on. So in this one, Facebook will be turned on. So I'm gonna move this over. Oh, this is a symbol. So I do, at this moment, I do need to ungroup the symbol. You know what, I'm gonna probably have to do that. My bad. Soon you'll be able to override symbols, but right now, not so much. So let me actually ungroup these symbols. Ignore me, ungroup symbols, here we go. And duplicate this over, and now we can start doing some cool stuff. So move this over, and then we'll change this to like a nice blue color. That'll be Facebook. Great. And whoop, I moved this over a little bit. Perfect. All right, so now that we have some various states set up, we actually need to start animating this thing. So what I'm gonna do is, because I want the this share experience to kind of work on or originate from this screen, we also want it on the first screen. So I'm going to copy it over here and paste it. Now, like I've mentioned in several days, if I just drag this down to the bottom and move it off the artboard, you're going to notice it's going to go onto the pasteboard. Now, there's two ways to avoid that. One way is to actually wire it up first. So I'm going to go into prototype mode. Let me actually hide this for a second. And I might want, when someone presses the share button, to go to this screen here. So I'm going to drag that over. It's going to be a tap trigger because I want a user to be able to tap or click on it. And then instead of a transition, which is basically a dissolve, a cut, or a slide left to right, that sort of thing, we want auto animate. And if you're new to auto animate, once that's selected, it's going to essentially instruct XD to look at the differences between the two artboards and animate those changes. We'll have a little bit of a snap at the top. Let's go for 0.4 seconds to see what that looks like. And now that this is wired up, I can go back and then move the share overlay down to the bottom, and it's not going to go off of the artboard because XD is recognizing that this object is also on this screen that's wired up. And then from there, we might want to, let's say, tap on this circle, go into prototype mode, drag this over. It's going to be tap, auto animate, snap is good, perfect. All right, let's see this in action. So with my first artboard selected, I can press the play button at the top right, and now I can press on the share button to reveal the share post overlay at the bottom, and then turn on Facebook. And I did move a little bit, so I got to move this back into place. There we go. Let's see this one more time. Boop. Turn that on. I think I moved things around a little bit. Let me actually go ahead and delete this. Copy, paste, just to make sure it doesn't move around. Move this over. Zoom in here so I can really line this up. Make this nice and blue. Perfect. And once again, let's see this. Try wind up. Wind up, it works in some situations, but it doesn't work in every situation. Great. And also, once this is turned on, we want share to be clickable. So we're going to just turn up the opacity just like that. Now, before I wrap things up, I also want to show you how you can use this as an overlay to use on multiple screens. If you're not too worried about interacting with the overlay, you can essentially use just this element and have it wired up from many, many screens, right? So let's say, for an example, I'm going to copy this. Let me actually just copy the entire artboard. But at this point, I can delete everything else that's not being used in the share overlay. So I can delete all this stuff. I'm just going to have this overlay. I'm going to make the artboard nice and small. Just like that. And now we can use this on many screens. So if I'm on this screen here, let me break this wire for a second. And instead, I'm going to drag this wire to the overlay artboard. And I do, again, want a tap trigger. And instead of auto animate or transition, we now want overlay. And this will allow you to essentially overlay that element on that artboard over to the right on top of this screen. So I can move it around just like this. And I can also choose how it enters this artboard. So I can have it dissolve if I want to. I can just have it show up, or I can have it slide left to right, up or down. So I'm going to have it slide up, which comes from the bottom. I'll do snap and 0.4 seconds. And if I press play and I click on the share button, it slides up. Now, at the moment, you can click on something and be transitioned to another artboard, but you won't be able to see animations on overlays at the moment. Might be coming in the future, but right now, if you click on it, it'll just slide back. And the main benefit to using overlays is, let's say I had multiple screens. I had this screen here, maybe this screen here. And you can imagine you probably have cases where there's potentially dozens of these similar artboards. So I'm going to drag a different image here and maybe a different image in this one. It's a big image, there we go. So now from all of these, because I have the share button linked to that exact same overlay, I can very easily go into any of these screens and access the same overlay. So it works with keyboards and search menus and things like that, or the menus that slide out from the side. You can very easily, so you don't have to have multiple artboards for the exact same thing. You can just have one artboard set as an overlay and use it throughout your project. So that will do it for today. Wired up a pretty basic prototype showing. Let me actually hook it back to this for now. And this will be auto animate, perfect. So a share experience overlay pops up, you can turn on Facebook, and then you'll be able to share it. So I'm definitely looking forward to what all of you put together. I know you're going to be a lot more creative than I am. Make sure to submit it to Behance using the keyword XD Daily Challenge. I hope you all have a great weekend. Stick around in just a few minutes. Talon is going to be back up with more XD goodness. Can't wait for that. And until next time, until Monday, I'll see you all later.
For you, honey, you reach for